There you go, update on the XF Jag. Had the engine delivered last week. I haven't unwrapped it yet, so it's wrapped up and I'm unwrapping it, it's just ready to go in. Got all the front of the car off. It was an absolute nightmare getting that radiator off. I think you're supposed to take it in bits, take it bits off, but all the nuts there are just rounded off, so I had to take it off in one go. To do that, I had to take all the front end off, and then just try and lift up that at the top, which is a pain. It was absolutely horrendous to do that, but hopefully it'll be easier putting it back in. But I took everything off it, lights, front, underneath guards, plastics underneath, took them off just so I can get access to everything. This box here is supposed to come off, this plastic here, but there's a nut right over in the corner there, and I can't get to it. So what I'm going to do, when I do the engine, I'll pull it forward so I can get access to that, but the engine might come out without it, I'm not sure, but I think I have to take, that's got to come off, I think. But all the front roll bar has come off. Roll bar went from here over to the other side, and then you had the valance end, the plastic valance and windscreen wipers along there, which now I can get access to the bell housing on the back. I'm not sure you'll be seeing that, but get access to the bell housing from there, so I just can get access to the top half. I disconnected the air conditioning unit, so I had to get that re-gassed up when I put it all back together. I think on this side is the plug-in. I think that's the plug-in for the engine. I think, I'm not sure. I'll find out later on. I think that comes up through the top there somewhere. But I'll check all that out when I get to it. That's and what I've done, I put all the nuts back where they come from, rather than having them in boxes and wonder what bolt goes where. The wires are all just already plug in. They go to the air mixer unit there, and then we got the bonnet sensor there. Goes onto the bonnet, which goes over onto there, and then that goes onto the radiator somewhere, and then there's more radiator pipes there, goes onto the radiator, and then you got one over here. Where's that gone? Yeah, that one there, that one's for the header tank, water head tank. And you got the lights there. I haven't unplugged the engine as yet, but that's where we are at the moment. So next thing now is get underneath, take the exhaust off, drop the exhaust off. I can't see much there at the moment, but that's what I'll do next, drop the exhaust off it. But these engines are supposed to be dropped from the bottom, drop the axles down, drop the gearbox down, and one go straight down. It apparently takes 3 hours to do that in a garage, but what I'm doing is it took me 2 hours just to get the radiator off, which is not normal, but there you go. But if you want to get to all the pulleys, you've got to take the radiator off to get all the pulleys. So, but I think the engine's leaking oil from the crank housing. I think there's oil there. I think that's where it's leaking from. I think maybe it ran out of oil. I don't know. I still got to check the engine before, when I take it out. But I think it's leaking from the crank pulley. Looks like that to me. It's not fresh oil. Oh yeah, it is. But that's the only place I can think it's leaking from. The crank pulley. But I'll find out later on. I'll take the pulley off and look at it. Otherwise, let's crack on with the rest of it. Catch you later. Right, a little bit of an update on this. I thought the electrics on that side, pulling it out, it's over this side. So what you got to do, that that goes in there, and then what you got to do is pull the plugs out. But to get at it, you got to take the suspension out, electronic suspension. You got to unbolt it from there. I've got to be careful of all these wires. You know, shit in these wires. Got to be careful of these cables and plugs and shit. Got to be so careful of these wires. What I do, I vacuum and get a vacuum on and later on and pull it. Because you got to be so careful of all this. That can go back in now. I think that one go back in now. So you got to unplug them, and then the plugs in are there. So give you an update, and then what you do then, you put all this back in. That goes back in there.
This is mine.
And then that goes back on there. Like that, basically just put it all back tidy so it's all neat. So it's all... Careful! Oh. So that's what it is. And then that's all disconnected. The diesel's disconnected from the engine. I'll leave them plugged in, but I'll take that off. But yeah, gotta be so careful of those cables, those electronics on there. So I'll put a plastic bag over them just to protect them, because otherwise it can affect the performance. Well, it might only, if you damage them, the car won't start. So that's what you gotta be careful of. So I put a plastic bag over them just to protect them, and then I'll put some, clean them out, blow them out with the air or something, just to do nothing in them. Clean all out with the air pipe. But anyway, that's what you got to do for that bit. Right, I'll carry on and keep you informed. Thanks, bye. Right, day one. Follow one of the videos done. Yeah, I still can't get the bolt out of there, out of the bottom there. Right down in there. The little nut. But I'll leave that for now because I think I'll get the engine out. But anyway, took all the bell housing bolts out. The top ones are a flicking nightmare from the top. You can get at them, but they're bloody pain. But once you slack them off, you can take them off by hand. It's so easy and nice and easy. Underneath, I've taken the cap lids off. The exhaust, they just left underneath, left them wide up. That's done there. Took off the fan belt, I took off the alternator. The alternator's off, fan belt's off, and so is a power steering pump. The power steering pump goes there. The well, the oil well goes there. Shit, it's a... Oh my god, it's a heck of a job. But yeah, we're getting there slowly. I found a leak on the turbo. That turbo there, at the back there, that's the engine mount in there. And I gotta somehow, I don't know, I have no idea. I gotta get to that bolt there. I might have to move the turbo. I don't know, I have no idea. You just see, just past that pipe, there's a turbo. Move that pipe, I just can't see it. Anyway, the turbo's in there, there's the engine mount there. That's in the other side. I think I can get that one though. I think I can get that one. I'm going to take these pipes off here. I can get the engine mount down there. I think access that one, but that one over there, that side's of that. That's going to be a nightmare. You can undo the bolts from underneath the engine mounts, but they're really long bolts. I'm not sure whether it's going to lift clear with the bell housing on the bulkhead. I'm not sure, so I might try that way. The thing to do tomorrow is disconnect the torque converter from the flywheel. I'll show that tomorrow, and get to the engine mounts and disconnect them somehow. Other than that, the engine will be ready to come out then. But at the moment, the bellows is loose. So rather than taking the torque converter off the flywheel now and the engine mounts, it's ready. But anyway, I'll catch up again tomorrow. See how it gets on tomorrow. There you go. Right, got the hoist on. I put the ropes. I put the ropes around the engine. Basically, around the pulleys here. I can't see where to put them, so I put them by there. And then around the back of the mount for the alternator, and then down past the turbos on the bottom there onto the hoist. And the engine now is loose, so just carry on now and have a video when it comes out. Got just gotta get off the bellows in now. And we just jack the gearbox up now, just hold the gearbox in place. Right, okay, got the engine almost out. I had to take it from the gear, but I couldn't split the bellows in for some reason. I couldn't find out what was holding it in. So I took the engine box out at the same time. So coming at one go. So. Released it from the prop, pull it forward, take all the bolts out of there, and now I draw it forward, and now it's ready to come out. One big lump. Oh, ow, shit. Oh, it took me all day just to get it. But I have no idea why that bell housing didn't split from the engine. I took all the bolts off the bell housing, as far as I can tell. But I have no idea why it didn't split. But don't matter now, I got that one big lump. So I might have to take the cross member bar off, I'm not sure. But I should be able to come out as it is. But anyway, that's it. A big old fucking lump all fucking day that took me. Anyway, just get it out, put it on the floor, have it due from there. Right, it's on the hoist now. But I'm looking on this gearbox and I cannot see nothing why that wouldn't split from the bell housing. It still won't do it, even though I took the engine out completely. And there's no bolts in there whatsoever. So I don't know why it didn't split from the gearbox. I have no idea, but it will when I get on the floor. Move around a little bit, bang it a little bit, it'll probably come out. But I can't see nothing at all why that wouldn't come out. So, anyway, it's out to the car.